I am Dr. Rita McGuire. I'm the Chief Medical Officer here at Wakana, one of the co-founders. And tonight we're going to talk about the endocannabinoid system, CBD, and grief. A little bit about myself as we get started. I'm an obstetrician gynecologist of over 30 years. I trained at Wayne State School of Medicine in Detroit, Michigan. I completed my residency here in Chicago at Cook County. I'm the CEO of RJM Wellness and Riptreator Fitness. I'm a global women's health and wellness speaker. I'm also a certified physician for the opioid exchange program, as well as the medical marijuana program here in Illinois. And I'm a member for Doctors for Cannabis Regulations. Our medical advisory board is made up of healthcare professionals that really help us to understand how CBD, how cannabis works in the body. We will be meeting some of them this evening. We will have special presentations in August and September, but they are made up of MDs, naturopaths, RN registered nurses, chiropractors, dentists, clinical therapists, pharmacists, as well as other healthcare professionals that really help us to understand not only cannabis, but our products here at Wakana. So we're going to talk about grief. And the reason we're going to talk about grief is because one of our business partners reached out to me to ask me if we've talked about it before as it relates to CBD and our products. And honestly, we haven't. So if you ever have a topic that you want me to highlight on Wednesday evening, you can absolutely email me or message me the topic, and we will get to that topic. So grief, we've all experienced grief in our lifetime. I know a lot of us, since the start of this global pandemic, has really faced more grief than others. It's a strong emotion. It can be overwhelming. It's a loss. It's of a loved one. It could be news of a terminal diagnosis. It could be loss of a relationship, a long-term marriage. It could be loss of a job. There's many things that can cause us to undergo grief. It just doesn't have to be death. Many times when we're undergoing grief, we feel numb, right? We sometimes want to remove ourselves from others. We many times are unable to carry on with common duties that we typically enjoy doing. And sometimes this grief can last for months and even years. Today is a hard day for me. 3 years ago, I lost my nephew. I lost my nephew unexpectedly. He was in the hospital. He had sickle cell anemia, and he died within 10 hours of being admitted to the hospital for a sickle cell crisis. And so that brings up emotions, like many times when we have a loss and we have an anniversary of their loss. And this is why this is an important conversation to have, and why we want to learn more about how CBD can help us. There are stages of grief. One of the very first stages is denial. I do remember getting the phone call that Ricky C. had passed away. And it was hard for me to believe it. I was in denial because I had just spoken to his doctor an hour before I had spoken to his physician about his status. So denial is one of the first stages of grief. It can include avoidance or confusion, Opposite, elation, shock, and even fear. There's another stage of grief, and it's anger. You know, I remember feeling very angry, frustrated, irritated, having a lot of anxiety. I remember having an anxiety attack. I remember being very emotional, like screaming, "No, not Ricky C." And I know all of you have gone through this stage before. And bargaining is another stage, you know. I feel like if only I had pushed the issue that they intubate my nephew, if I had really pushed it, if I had continued the call, the ICU. Bargaining is a struggle to find meaning, and really having that heart-to-heart talk with yourself about why this happened to your loved one, if it is concerning death. Depression is a part of grieving. Depression comes in when the grief is so overwhelming that you feel hopeless. You feel like there's nothing you can do to get yourself out of this rut, or there was nothing else that I could do to help my sister-in-law, that she had just lost her son. There's also hostility. And then there's also the feeling that you just want to remove yourself and go somewhere. So depression is one of the biggest emotions that we'll feel in grief, that if it's not checked, if it's not addressed, can be very, very serious. And then acceptance is the last stage of grief, where you've accepted the loss of your loved one, you've accepted the loss of your job, maybe you've accepted the diagnosis that you have just been given, maybe you've accepted the terms of what is going to be next in your life. And then you're ready to move on. You're ready to move on to counseling. Maybe you're ready to move on to adjusting and readjusting to what this grief has now given you in your life. So grieving does not mean that it's always a loss or a death of someone. Grieving, again, can be in many, many forms. And so CBD is an opportunity and an option for you to use during these times of grieving. So what is CBD? CBD is an abbreviation for cannabidiol, and it is one of the #1 compounds or cannabinoids in the hemp plant. It's also found in the marijuana plant, but it's one of the commonly found cannabinoids in the cannabis sativa plant. And what I love about CBD, the CBD that we're going to talk about this evening that's sourced from the hemp species, is that it doesn't give you the high, it doesn't give you the paranoia, it doesn't give you the psychoactive effects like Delta-9 or tetrahydrocannabinol, which is the other chemical or compound found in the cannabis plant. So CBD is naturally occurring, and it can be used in so many different conditions and challenges in our life, and one being grief, one being depression, one being anxiety. So let's look a little bit more closer at CBD, and let's look at some of the other cannabinoids or compounds that the plant makes, because there's over now, really it's over 140, 180 different compounds that the cannabis plant makes. But CBD is really the main player. CBD has so many medicinal benefits to the body that we need to understand when someone is grieving, when someone has anxiety, when someone has depression, when someone is really having a hard time dealing with an overwhelming amount of emotions due to grief, well, we can help them with CBD. So CBD has been shown to reduce anxiety and depression. We're going to talk specifically how it does that. CBD also can help relieve pain. It can help to reduce the symptoms that grieving may give us, like insomnia, an inability to get a good night's rest. So it aids in sleep. It also helps to release neurotransmitter that our brain has in place to help us deal with anxiety and depression and grief. And those two main neurotransmitters, are dopamine and serotonin. And so CBD, we'll see later in a slide, can really help to release more of that in our bloodstream so that we are in a better mood, so that we can sleep. There's many other benefits that CBD has, but we're going to concentrate on grief tonight. We see CBG, we see CBCA, Delta 9, THC. These other cannabinoids also help to aid in sleep, also helps to improve our mood, improve our ability to deal with anxiety and depression as well. So it's the synergy of all of these cannabinoids that the plant produces to help us deal with grief. So how does CBD work? Well, there's science. And the science behind how CBD works is called the endocannabinoid system. Now, this system is a network of receptors that our brain, our central nervous system, major organs and glands in our body, like our heart, our lungs, our liver, our kidney, our skin, our pancreas, major organs, that when we consume CBD, this system, this very vital regulatory system, has receptors that bind and send signals to different areas of the body to keep our body in balance. And when we're dealing with grief, those systems mainly are the central nervous system and the brain, where there are receptors like dopamine and serotonin. There's pathways in the central nervous and the brain that actually help to reduce anxiety, helps to reduce depression, and helps us sleep so that we can deal with the grief. So you see here in the slide, those main receptors are CB1 and CB2. They are, again, found in different organs and glands, from our head to our toe. This system helps also to regulate body temperature, to regulate our appetite, our blood pressure. It helps in metabolism. It regulates pain and mood. It does many, many functions to keep our body in homeostasis. So how can CBD help? There's over 20,000 peer-reviewed articles, and now that CBD is legal in all 50 states under the 2018 Farm Bill, we're seeing more and more studies in humans where they're looking at CBD as a therapeutic modality in helping with mood, in helping with depression, in helping with PTSD, and of course in helping in symptoms that grief can cause. Now, this can be, we'll talk about how CBD can be used in different modalities like tinctures and topicals and gummies. But just know it's really the endocannabinoid system, and it's the binding of the receptors when we consume CBD in this endocannabinoid system. And it's these receptors that actually help in the nervous system in reducing inflammation and releasing more dopamine and serotonin that has a very profound effect on our body. So These receptors, again, modulate and regulate our mood, dopamine, modulate and regulate our sleep, our appetite, also our mood, and inhibits pain, serotonin. So when we consume CBD, these receptors or neurotransmitters are now being able to release because of the CBD. So CBD directly interacts with serotonin and dopamine receptors, influencing the brain activity and the release of serotonin and dopamine throughout the body. So CBD oil is very, very mainstream. We see it everywhere. We see CBD products at the gas station, at the smoke shop, at the beauty shop, at the barber shop. There's so many options at the health food store, but we understand that not all CBD is made equally. There are many, many products that are marketed as CBD oils, but they're really hemp seed oils. And hemp seed, the seed of the hemp plant, doesn't contain CBD or any other cannabinoids. The seed from the hemp is something that I take every day as a great source of protein because I'm a vegan. I use hemp seed oil for the omega-3s and omega-6. It's a great nutritional supplement, but it doesn't contain CBD. So it's important that you know the difference, one, from CBD oil and hemp seed oil, and two, you understand that not all CBD is made equally. Our products here at Wakana, we're going to talk about them, are sourced from organic farms in Colorado and Oregon. These farms are growing hemp organically, which is really important because hemp is a bioaccumulator, which means it accumulates whatever is in the soil. So if the soil is not organic, if the soil is containing pesticides and heavy metals and a lot of contaminants, well, you're going to consume that when you consume that CBD product. So you want to make sure that the product is also tested, that there is, as we use here at Wakana, third-party validation that really helps to allow the consumer, you on the line, to understand that the product is safe, the product is effective, and the product has a legal limit of THC. The legal limit of THC is 0.3% or less, and the CBD needs to be sourced from the hemp plant, again, which by definition contains 0.3% or less of THC. So none of our products will give you a high, a paranoia, or a euphoria. Our CBD products are use a carrier oil, which is MCT coconut oil and hemp seed oil. And again, there are many, many studies that show that CBD can be used in those who are grieving, those who have symptoms of anxiety, depression, insomnia. So the disclaimer that I want to read quickly before we get into our products here at Wakana is that the statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The efficacy of these products have not been confirmed by the FDA-approved research. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. And I always say that CBD absolutely is a tool that you can use when you're looking for an organic option for your health. So all information presented here is not meant as a substitute for or alternative to information from your healthcare practitioner. Please, if you're under a doctor's care, if you're on medication, if you have undergone an overwhelming amount of grief, like many of us have gone through during this global pandemic, you want to make sure that your doctor knows that you want to utilize CBD, and you have that information that you can give to your practitioner so that they can be on board, because many of my patients, many of our testimonials have shown that many patients have their physicians start to reduce and even eliminate their medications that they may be on. So let's talk about our tinctures. When we talk about grief, when we talk about anxiety, we talk about depression, when we talk about insomnia, when we talk about a lot of these symptoms that grief can cause, we want to ensure that there's a steady state of CBD in our bloodstream. So you're going to hear me talk about layering these products, not just using one product, but using multiple products. So our tinctures are products that use underneath the tongue. Our products are in two categories. And that's what I love about these products, is that if you're on the line and you have random drug screens at your job, we have products that you can use called our pure products. Our pure products are in the white label. They contain less than 0.0% of THC, and they do not show up on a urine drug screen. Our power products are our full spectrum products. They use the legal limit of THC, which is 0.3% or less, and they do not cause a high. None of our products will give you a high, euphoria, paranoia, or the munchies. The recommended dosing in our tinctures is 3 drops twice a day. It takes tinctures about 15, 20 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes to get into the bloodstream. So you want to start low and go slow when you're first introducing CBD into your system. So 3 drops twice a day is a great starting dose. In 4 or 5 days, if you notice that your anxiety or depression or whatever you're using to address your grief is not quite at the level that you want to see, you can increase it to 8 drops twice a day, and even the maximum dose is 15 drops twice a day. So our Power Hempranium on the far left is our #1 tincture. It's 500 milligrams of CBD. This is a proprietary formulation. Our products are very unique in that our products are enhanced with essential oils like black seed and turmeric. Our carrier oils are MCT coconut oil and hemp seed oil. We understand that these essential oils enhance the effectiveness of CBD, and the carrier oils help to carry the CBD into the bloodstream very quickly. Our pure CBD tincture has a nanotechnology, which is a delivery system that helps deliver the CBD oil into the bloodstream and make it more available. So we call our bioavailability in our pure tincture at 98.7%. So this is a product that's really being carried in the bloodstream and available for use. Our water soluble is a great product that you can infuse your water, your tea, anything that's liquid. Our Power Water Soluble is a great product. And then our Hemp MD is our more therapeutic product. It's 900 milligrams of CBD. In fact, we're having a sale. This is the product of the week. You want to take advantage of that. Our Hemp MD is 900 milligrams. And though it's 900 milligrams, you still want to start low and go slow. 3 drops twice a day. Now we're going to skip over the hemp powered hair because I want to concentrate tonight on grief. But you know what? You can have grief because you may have gotten a diagnosis of cancer. Maybe you're undergoing treatment and the chemotherapy has caused your hair to come out. So let's talk about the hemp powered hair. It's a great product that addresses hair loss, hair thinning, or alopecia, female or male baldness. It's a product that can be used topically if you have random drug screens, or you can use it as a tincture underneath the tongue. Just know that if there is a follicle, this is a product that can really help restore your hair. Our topical products address inflammation. It addresses a lot of muscle pain and spasms. You know, a lot of times when we're going through the grieving process, we have pain. We have pain because we're tensing in the neck area, the lower back area. We start to have discomfort. These are products that offer local relief within 1 to 5 minutes. Our number one selling topical product is our Extreme Power Pain Cream. It's 400 milligrams, and again, a proprietary formulation. With this product, it is enhanced with 8 to 10 essential oils that helps to reduce inflammation and pain. Our Dr. Rita's Rub is a great product. As we're going through the grieving product, we're having the tense area in our neck, our back, our feet, our arms. You know, when we are tense, there is a lot of discomfort. I love Dr. Rita's Rub because it's a roller ball. You can just roll it on in areas of that body, offering local relief. So these are two great products that I would recommend during the grieving process: depression, anxiety. Whenever we're stressed, we are tense. Our edible products are gummies. Now, our gummies are not coated, and I really emphasize that. They're infused. Most gummies in the marketplace are coated. That means that they're not very effective. They're not very potent, right? The CBD is just on the outside, where ours are infused. So you're getting the highest potency of that CBD within that entire gummy. We have our pure gummy, that broad spectrum gummy. I love using that one. It's on the far right during the day. And then the power gummy, I like using that one at night. It has the legal limit of THC, 0.3% or less. Just know that gummies take a little longer to get into the bloodstream. They take upwards to 2 hours to get into the bloodstream. So you still want to start low and go slow. Start with a quarter or half a gummy. Increase that within an hour or two if you really haven't felt the effects that you're looking for. Then our Delta 8, our Flight 25, our Flight 50. These are Delta 8. It's another cannabinoid that's legal in all 50 states. But the Delta 8 gives more of a potency that many millennials love. If you're looking for a reduction in the depression, reduction in anxiety, the Delta 8 is what you may want to use to help with that. So those are our edibles that I want to talk about tonight that address gummies. We have many, many products. We're not going to talk about all of those products, just the ones that I'm recommending for those who are undergoing grief, depression, anxiety, insomnia. See, these gummies work the same way as the tincture, and I recommend that you use the tincture and the gummies to help you get through the process. Our smokable products are fast acting. Within 1 to 5 minutes, you can get relief. See, smokables bypass the stomach and the liver. They go straight to the bloodstream, offering you relief for those acute times of grief, anxiety, depression, insomnia. We offer our CBD vapes, our CBD pre-rolls, our Delta 8 vapes, our Delta 8 pre-rolls. These are great, great products that will offer fast relief. So there's so many great choices. You can't go wrong. I didn't talk about our full line of products. I want you to visit the website the person that invited you this evening. If you're looking for products for weight loss, if you're looking for products for skincare, if you're looking for products for hair restoration and hair care, if you're looking products for detox and cleansing, we have these products. But tonight, our focus is on grief. And our focus is on grief, rightly so. We've got a lot going on. We've got monkeypox. We've got resurgent in the COVID. We've got multiple strains of COVID. We have even our own president that was reinfected after having COVID just a short weeks ago. We've got wars in Ukraine. We have inflation. We have a lot of uncertainties. We have a lot of anxiety. We have a lot of sleepless nights. And I want to let you know that our products work. Our products are products that you can use as another tool in the toolbox to help you get through grief, to help you get through the symptoms that grief may pass our way. And I want you to share that information with those that you love. And it looks like the chat is working. The chat is reportedly is disabled, but you're chatting in the chat box, Erica Zachary, so the chat must be working. How did you chat in the chat box if it's disabled? Let me know. If you have a question,
No, in the Q&A, Bernadine Kirkland says the chat is disabled.
Yeah, I don't know how to make it work, but you're chatting in the chat box. How did you chat in the chat box?
I'm entered in as a panelist. So
Oh,
I'm not sure if that makes a difference.
That's how you're chatting in the chat box.
Right.
So I don't know why that has happened. All I can do now is if you have a question, you can raise your hand. Another thing I can do is just promote you all to the panelists. And if you have a question, you can unmute your mic and ask the question. How about that? That's really easy.
They can also put in Q&A because she was able to put in Q&A.
Oh, you can put it in the Q&A. Either one of those will work.
Hey, Dr. Rita, it's Bernadine. Thank you so much for pulling me over. I did have a quick question. We were talking about the Extreme Pain Cream 400 milligrams. I remember we had a 500 milligram as well, and I have 2 bottles of the Extreme Pain Cream 400 milligrams, and one is one color and one is another. So I have a client who has both of these jars, and I just wanted to find out if there was a difference in the same jars with different product.
So the 500 milligram is a different product than the 400 milligram, but the
Correct.
400 milligram, if it's a different color, is the same product. The
Okay.
500 milligram we're no longer carrying at this point, but that is the same product if it's Power Extreme Pain Cream 400 milligrams.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So I have promoted everyone to the panelist side. There's some people that have declined, and that's okay. But if you have a question about grief, if you have a question about the CBD products that we spoke about, you can ask at this time. If you have other questions about any other condition or any other challenge, I would ask that you hold those questions and you email me at ritamd@wakana.com. I did want to share the references for grief that I used. You can screenshot that if you want to at this time. Let's see here. Let's see if there's any questions in the Q&A. No questions in the Q&A. I want to acknowledge our dispensary owners. We have Shirley McLaurin, we have Paula G, We have Mom Mitchell, Magnolia, Joseph Stanford, Fritz Shelton. We have Iola Commons. We have Dr. Betty. We have Bernadine Kirkland, Erica Zachary. We have Tammy from Boston. Thank you for supporting the Zoom. If you're a guest on the line, please connect with the person that invited you this evening. Please connect with them and get your products ordered. You know, I really recommend that when you are trying our products, try one of the packages. The packages will give you an assortment of the different ways of consuming CBD, be it the tincture, the gummies, the topicals, and you can also get a great savings. Connect with the person that invited you. We've got specials going on, product of the week. We want to really get you connected and get you informed about all of our other costs and opportunities to lock arms with us here at Wakana. So the funniest thing though, is the person that asked me to do this presentation is not even on the line. And I'm glad I didn't share with you who that is. But that's okay. We have the recording, but she's been asking me for weeks to do something on grief and CBD. And really the thing is, when we're grieving, we all grieve differently. We all have different symptoms when we grieve. We all can have discomfort and pain when we grieve. And that's why we really want you to layer the products, use the trifecta. That's the tincture, the gummies, and the topicals, and also the smokables if needed. But just know that this is another option for pharmaceuticals that many times your doctor may recommend that you use during the time of grieving. This is an option. This is a holistic option. This is a natural option. And this is an option that works. And this is an option that really we want you to share with your family and your friends. Wonderful. Well, at this time, I'm going to open up the line to anyone that has a question. We have members of our medical advisory board on the line. We have Erica Zachary. We have Dr. Betty Smith. And you can do it popcorn style. You can just unmute your mic and take it away.
Dr. Edith Bernadine, I was just going to say, Erica, thank you. I'm going to let you in just a second. I just wanted to say I see a whole bunch of other dispensary owners, and I wanted to just welcome Candace and her first dispensary owner. It was Andrea Swain. So both of them are on the line, and Candace just got a new dispensary owner with her today. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so she's doing great things. And then Tammy, of course, you mentioned her, but Frida McDuffie is also on from New York. So she's on and doing her thing, and it's just great to see folks. So just wanted to say hello and recognize them as well, because you were mentioning dispensary owners on the line.
Fantastic. Oh, this is such a great opportunity for, you know, I've promoted everyone on the panelists. If you want to unmute your mic and tell us how excited you are in being a part of the Wakana family. And also I want to share with everyone my email address. It's ritamd@wakana.com. If there's ever a topic you want me to hit, there's ever a question, if there's any way that I can help move your business, please do not hesitate, new dispensary owners.
I have one question from last night. There was a sister who asked me about Crohn's disease, and I said, I'm pretty sure Dr. Rita has done something on Crohn's disease, but I checked all of the videos, I couldn't find it. So should I send Dr. Roz a message?
Well, what we can do, we can specifically do just Crohn's, but the topic included a lot of the GI disorders, ulcerative colitis, reflux, Crohn's. But absolutely, I can do next week Crohn's disease. So it can be absolutely all by itself.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a new sister who has a 23-year-old son, and she says, I just wish I could trade places with him because you hate to see your baby in pain. So she just would really, appreciate that because she wants to know what products to give him.
Right.
And I was looking for something that said Crohn's. I mean, she even
Yeah.
spelled it for me and I couldn't find it. So now that I know that, what more it is that you just mentioned, I'll know what else to give her.
Yeah. So what's interesting and exciting about doing Crohn's is that we absolutely are going to bring in the flat belly lifestyle. Someone with Crohn's disease should be on that 21-day cleanse like ASAP.
Fantastic.
Then during that 21-day cleanse, using the topical for discomfort, because Crohn's patients have a lot of discomfort and dis-ease from fractions of the intestinal tract. So yes, let's do Crohn's disease and let's get
Tuesday
that
or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday? Wednesday. Excellent. She'll be on. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
There's a question in the chat.
Yeah. Attention deficit disorder. What I love about attention deficit disorder is that UC San Diego is currently doing a clinical trial on using CBD on humans with attention deficit disorder. So attention deficit disorder is a good example of when we talk about the endocannabinoid system and how the transmission is retrograde. So the transmission of the firing goes from the postsynaptic to presynaptic. And why that's important in attention deficit disorder is because it is a hyperreactive state. And because CBD works in that backward or retrograde system, it's very effective in patients with attention deficit disorders, patients with seizure disorder, patients with multiple sclerosis, or any of the autoimmune conditions that have a hyperreactivity kind of connected to them. So just know the CBD tincture, the CBD gummies would be the number one and number two products that I would recommend starting with attention deficit disorder. Along with, even way before Flat Belly Lifestyle was even a part of Wakana, I would preach each and every week that we have to have a diet that is free from processed foods, free from fried food, incorporating fruits and vegetables, live food that are whole plant-based food that nourishes our body, nourishes our brain, nourishes our system, so that one, yes, the CBD can work, and two, that our body is getting fed fuel that it needs to calm the reactivity or the hyperreactivity down. So attention deficit disorder is another condition where CBD, there's many studies where CBD has been very effective.
So I have to say hello to Vanessa McNeil as well. She is on this, she just finished her 7-day raw detox. First time she's ever eaten raw, first time she's ever juiced. She can unmute if she wants to and just give her testimony because she is over the moon excited. So Vanessa, I don't know if you can unmute, but you can share with Dr. Rita. You were just talking about that flat belly lifestyle.
What's her name?
Vanessa or Vernesia, Vernesia.
I'll ask her to unmute. Please unmute if you can.
She may not be in an area where she can. Okay.
No worries. Well, we look forward to hearing from you, Vernesia. We really do. Please keep us updated on next.
Oh, I'm here.
There she is. Can we see your beautiful face?
Oh my goodness.
If you can. Oh, there
Yes.
you are. Yes.
I had to step out for a minute. What was the question or what to say?
Oh, Bernadine wanted you to share with us about your 21-day cleanse and eating raw and how you're doing and how you're feeling and all of those good things.
Well, I am feeling great. The best I've felt, and I don't know when, because my best part of the detox is that I was able to, well, go to the bathroom. I just put it like that because I have pelvic floor dysfunction and it's kind of hard for me to go. But since I've been on it, thank God I've been going every day.
You know what?
And that's
That
been the
is-
best feeling that I've had. People just don't know. I really appreciate her for encouraging me to do it because, I mean, it worked. And I mean, I feel so good. I mean, I've lost some weight and I feel great, looking great, and I'm getting bikini ready.
Oh, shucka, shucka. Oh, shucka, shucka. Well, let me tell you how important that is to your colon health.
Yes.
The longer waste sits in your colon, your intestines, the longer waste just sits there, increases the incidence of colon cancer.
Oh, wow.
That's why it is super important to eliminate those toxins out. And people don't understand that what you just said is a big deal.
Yes,
It's a
it is.
big
And that's been the biggest part of mine is just being able to go. It's a blessing in itself because I went more in these 8 days than sometimes I would go in a month
Yeah.
because of my pelvic floor dysfunction. And I'm not going to stop where I am. I'm going to keep going because I'm going to continue to eat healthy like I am. I don't even want fried food no more. I am feeling great and I love it. I'm going to keep on going.
Well, I'm telling you, after my 21-day cleanse, I went raw vegan.
Okay.
And this is a very transparent moment for me. I'm going to share with all of you. I think now it's been a month. It's been a month that I started prepping to compete. So I'm going to compete in bodybuilding. So my coach sent me the meal plan. And the meal plan is vegan, of course. But the meal plan's all cooked food. And so I'm like, okay, I can make the oatmeal raw and there's certain things I can do raw. But what I noticed last week, when I tried to follow the meal plan as prescribed, I got sick. Cooked food does not work for me, does not work for Dr. Rita. I was constipated. I was bloated. I can't do cooked food. I didn't feel good. When I tell you this live food gives me life and energy, I will not turn back, even though I tried it. But, you know, I just lied to my coach and I said, I'm following her meal plan, but I can't. I'm going to compete and show the world that you can build muscle. You can, let me show you guys, let me show you what I'm reading, that you can build muscle. I'm reading this book. It's called Raw Power. It's written by a raw vegan bodybuilder. You can build muscle. You can win championships in bodybuilding being raw vegan. So I'm happy for you. I'm going to stop there. Get off my
Thank you.
They
I
see a
just-
lot more
I
beautiful faces. It's so good to see everybody. Hi, Frida. Hi, Dr. Betty. Hi, Erica.
Bernadine, you are glowing like a light bulb, girl.
Yeah.
You know, I feel so good, Dr. Betty. Oh, this is Holy Glow, baby. That's what this is today, Holy
Yes.
Glow.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And you too, Erica. You
Thank
glowing
you,
like
thank
a
you.
too, girl.
Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna go to you. I'm gonna make a couple comments. One is about that constipation. That is real. Right, for
Yeah.
so many years, I
real
thought it was
good.
related to multiple sclerosis and that my body just wasn't working right. And I realized I was just eating the wrong food. It's just as simple as that. So I'm incredibly happy that I can go several times a day
Me
and, not
too.
and have it look like it's supposed to look without being diarrhea or any of that kind of stuff. So it's just amazing. And I feel great. But I also wanted to say, Dr. Rita, thank you so much for doing the talk today. I'm so appreciative of Wakana because I have so many clients that don't want to take prescription medications when they're dealing with depression, anxiety, sleep disturbance, and all of those different things, right? So I had a client today, I was talking to her because she's having some issues. It's not grief. Well, technically not grief, but it is because she's having some trouble at work and she's afraid of losing her job and all those kind of things, but she's also having some pain issues. So we talked about her pain, she's not sleeping. So I had so many products that I could recommend to her because we have so many products available that actually work. And so I'm just incredibly grateful for Wakana and everything that they have to, and I've used all the products, so I know that they work. So it's just been an amazing journey for me being able to share our products with other people as well. So that's what I want to say.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Erica, for sharing that. And we appreciate all that you do. And I'm, again, so grateful that we have these products to share with our patients, with our family, with our friends, with our coworkers, and with our community. So thank you for that. Anyone else before we close it out? Well, this has been fun. I love it.
glad
We
you
have all our
shared.
videos on, like the Brady Bunch, the Wakana Fit family. I see Fred, Tammy from Boston, Iola. Any last comments before we close it out? If not, well, thank you so much for joining tonight. We'll be talking about Crohn's disease next Wednesday at 8
Wonderful.
p.m. Thank you all for attending. Thank you, guests. Please connect with the person that invited you. Be well, be safe, and juice it up.
Yes.
God bless everyone. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.